This show is brought to you in part by viewers like you who joined a Patreon or become YouTube members. Thank you. And if you could, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
Yeah,
to make up
yes.
for what's going on at slot corner, right? So we got TYVIS Powell on. We spent the first part of this talking about the Browns secondary, a little bit of the defense. Let's kind of talk about the bigger picture overall. Now, as we're recording this, I think most people are exiting their hot take mania over whatever happened in that second half of the preseason game there. I just kind of want to talk about Dylan here for a second here, because I don't think he's gotten a lot of attention throughout this whole process, or he's kind of just been the guy, the other guy in this conversation. But what do you make of what you've seen from him when you look at him from a defensive player standpoint, of how he's looked in the preseason? Like, is this the success that he's had operating the offense in the preseason? Do you look at it as very hard to replicate that level of success in the regular season if he gets to play at some point? Or is this a version of success that you're like, hey, there's something a little bit promising to what you're seeing there?
No, he's definitely promising. If I was going up against Dylan Gabriel, so let's say that I'm playing safety or a corner or something, and I'm going up against Dylan Gabriel, what my assessment would be is he is a timing rhythm quarterback. Okay. So for me, if I'm playing corner, the number one thing I'm thinking about is how can I throw the timing off? So now I'm thinking of jump jamming, I'm thinking of quick jamming, I'm thinking of bail, like that. Like, how can I throw this receiver's timing off? Because I need him to hold the ball longer. Why? Because when you hold the ball longer, one, the pocket's gonna get pushed back. So that means my guys is pushing him back, which means he's gonna make the throw longer. He's gonna throw it higher, which that comes with being short, and it gives my teammates a better chance to get their hands on the ball. So when I watch Dylan Gabriel, I believe that he can make all the throws. I mean, he threw some dimes. I mean, it's pinpoint accurate. But what he messes up at is if he misses, so say we send blitzes to him and the blitz is about to hit him, he misses high. So if I'm the DB, that means I need to stay on top of my route, because if that blitz gets there, he's going to overthrow it. And in the league, if you don't know, tips and overthrows, you got to get those. So that's what I would be anticipating. If I was playing against Dylan Gabriel and I was playing a wide receiver, one, I would try to throw off the timing, and then I would always stay on top of the route just in case the blitz gets there, because I know he's going to overshoot it.
Yeah. So with what you've seen out of Dylan, do you feel comfortable with him being the backup week one?
Yeah, I think Dylan Gabriel has shown enough that he can go in there and operate Kevin's offense. Okay, like if Joe Flacco went down, would it make me nervous? Absolutely, because Joe Flacco is head and shoulders better than all of those quarterbacks. That's a fact. But to get through a game, I believe Dylan Gabriel can definitely get us through a game.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Joe Flacco, man, because it's kind of amazing that he still looks like Joe Flacco at 40. Like, well, he's not old Joe Flacco, right? He's not like 2012.
No, that's dead and gone.
I mean, I don't know if it was even like it was shocking when he did it back then, right? Like, it wasn't like this is the same Joe Flacco we had seen in 2011. It was like, who is this guy, right? I think it was a contract year too. By the way, that's got to be in the contract year Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah, one of the greatest Super Bowl runs. Wasn't he away every game or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, he went something crazy. Like he had like 2 game-winning throws. One of them against Denver in the conference championship game, I believe.
Earning the bag, boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've never looked at Raheem Moore the same after that game, because I remember that was a bad one for Raheem. He played that one all bad. But yeah, it was shocking when he did it in 2012, right? But he still has those traits that you remember Joe Flacco having, right? The ability to throw the ball from basically any platform, put some good zip on it. You know, veteran quarterback. He's going to make decisions that are pretty sound here. What do you think this team? One, just like because you've been through the NFL grind, I want to ask this question first. How likely do you think it is? How many games do you think Joe Flacco can give you in the season? Because I feel like the week-to-week grind for NFL season is just gonna be what gets him at age 40.
I do believe that just off of Joe Flacco's recent history, he's good for somewhere between 4 to 6 games. You think about last year with the Colts. He came in, I think he gave you like maybe 2 weeks, and then I think they ended up going back to Anthony Richardson. With the Browns, he gave you 6 games before the playoff game. The year before that with the Jets, he gave you like 3 or 4 because he beat us and everybody thought he was the greatest, and then he kind of fell off a cliff again. So just where he's at in his career, he only can give you so many. So to me, I look at Joe as they're just buying time to get those rookies a little bit more time to be game ready before they one of eventually have to take over.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. It's probably going to be Dylan first. We'll see how Dylan handles
Kevin
that.
came out and named him quarterback too officially.
So that's probably going to be who's next. And then you have Shador, who's going to have probably an opportunity here, maybe because of injury. I mean, like one guy's 40, the other guy's like 5'11".
Yeah.
There's a high injury probability between those two quarterbacks, right? So you might end up bringing Snoop Huntley back. Matter of fact, I bet on you bringing Snoop Huntley back at some point. So
never rule out. They keep saying like Deshaun might come back like week 8 or something. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but I just want everybody to have all the facts.
I'm just look, some news you just wait till it happens till you worry about it. You know what I mean? Like I
don't know what I'm gonna do, Q, if I see the Browns have opened up the 21-day window for Deshaun. I'm
gonna treat Deshaun Watson like most people treat their student loans, bro. Until they send me the notice, I'm not really about to. Until the bill due, then you can come get your money back. All right, cool. You know what I mean? What you want? You want me to pay?
I want all our listeners to have all the facts. He back as early as like week 8. If it might be some Deshaun fans out there,
right? As far as I know, Deshaun's furloughed for the season until further notice. I know what you're saying. Look, if the news drop, we'll have time to talk about it.
We will. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna have Twitter in a blaze.
It's gonna be crazy if we play Tyler Huntley over him. He knows the offense better.
Snap. He got listen. Deshaun got to keep his nose clear. He'll snap if that happens.
Here's the game that I think Deshaun is going to have to play, right? Because I don't think he's going to have a good time convincing anybody to give him another chance to start.
Yeah, he got to clean his image.
What Deshaun has to do, and what I think Deshaun is kind of aware of, you've seen him do it. He got to be Mr. Teammate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see him with the rookies. He down on the field with the
traveling to joint practice, giving out advice, making sure he's helping guys out. The Browns did that whole quarterback series on their website. You notice that they interviewed Deshaun Watson not one time, but Deshaun Watson is all over the B-roll, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm helping this guy here, and I think that's Deshaun's play right now.
Definitely peeped it.
Look, and if they start Tyler Huntley over him, and then they bring in what's the dude they brought in last year? Play last game of the season.
Oh, Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, they bring Mr. Zappi in to back him up, and they got Deshaun back there, emergency quarterback. You gonna see him with that hat and the shoulder pads on. Doing all the good teammate stuff.
There's no way. Right? If he plays out, I mean, that just tell you where we are.
It's going to be like college where he got the little flap over the jersey. He doing hand signs on the sidelines.
Mr. Teammate.
Yeah, he got to do the teammate stuff. Look, he going to be on that sideline coaching, taking advantage of the fact that he could be on the sideline and just,
Remember before when he was doing his rehab, he'd be up in the
We not seeing him in the booth with the chains on and the Louis Vuitton shades. I promise you, he's not going to do that.
That's funny to me.
Yeah, no. But if you look at the Browns offense right now, a lot of it's relying on what I think a lot of trust on the offensive line, right? Because like the running back room has not really manifested itself into whatever it's going to be. We haven't seen Quinshawn in pads or anything meaningful for a running back. A little bit of Dylan Sampson here and there. You know, are you confident in this offensive line being able to replicate some of the success that they had about 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I do. I think that last year they got exposed because like when you change the whole scheme. So like this was my whole thing. Why I wasn't a fan of them changing the scheme to begin with. The people that's on that current line, you either drafted them or you went out and seek them via free agent or trade or whatever the case may be. And the reason that you got them is because they already fit that scheme that you were already running. So that's what they're good at. That's why we got them for that. So when you change the entire scheme, it exposed them, man, because that's not what they good at. I think now that you're going back to what they are used to and what they're good at doing, you'll see more success from the offensive line. So I don't really have a problem there. Obviously, this is a big year for DeJuan. This is like a major, major bag year for DeJuan Jones. So he's going to be extremely motivated, and I'm hoping that he answered the call. Obviously, the Ethan Pochik injury could mean something, but I got confidence in Luke Whippler, not just because he's a Buckeye, but because the guy has been there for many, many years and have had a ton of success. This guy went from center to guard and back to center. So this guy obviously knows what he's doing, and I expect him to be successful this year.
You think for this year, for you at least, how the season could play out? Because I don't want to do a win-loss prediction because, like, you can get to a win-loss record and still want to fire your coach, no matter what that record is, depending on how that goes down, right? We done seen coaches get fired with all kind of different records. But mentally, what do you feel like if you get to the season and you feel this, you feel really good about next year, or you feel like this year wasn't a complete waste of time?
Obviously, the quarterback situation is big on the whole thing, but I think from an overall standpoint, when I look at this team, I need it to be as close to 2 years ago, especially from a defensive side, because I think that kind of carries this team. I need that defense to be at least top five. If they top five, I say, all right, we got something here. And then from an offensive standpoint, I just need them to score over 21 points like that, like most consistently, because
Like be 18th in scoring.
yeah, some middle of the road or something like that. So it tells me like we in the right direction. We're headed in there. Like Kevin Stefanski's offense still works. We can put points up. We got guys that are still making plays. That type of stuff will give me hope for the future. If we go out there and can't get 14 points or whatever the heck it was, 20 points, I think was the number last year. We can't do that again. And the defense looked like last year. It's gonna be hard for them people. It's gonna be hard for people to keep their job around Cleveland, boy. I'm just telling you.
All right. Any quarterbacks in college that you think are very interesting for this upcoming draft? I know it's super early, but anybody that you
A handful, obviously Cade Klubnik, Lenore Sellers. I'm not really a big Drew Aller guy, but he can prove me wrong this year. If Drew Aller goes out there and have a very successful season, throw for over 300 yards a couple of times, like I can see it. Damn. I mean, but I understand his measurables is great. He got the strong arm, but I just feel like Tyler Warren was like what made him. He didn't make Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren made him. So I would have to see that, see how he does there. I don't know what Arch situation is. I just watched him tape on Arch to break him down for Ohio State, and it's undeniable that he throws a really good ball. He's got great mechanics, quick release. Oh man, yeah, like whenever he comes out, he's probably gonna be the number one pick in the draft. So love his game. And I haven't watched the kid from Indiana, Fernando Mendoza. I know some people are kind of high on him. I haven't watched him, but I'll watch him as this season goes on.
But Ty, it's always a fun time having you on, man. Appreciate you. Where can people find you?
Man. So if you're in the Columbus area and you want to listen to me on the radio, 6 to 9, T-Bone and TYVIS in the morning on 97.1 The Fan. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can catch me on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, 11 to 1 on YouTube. Saturdays, starting this Saturday, Catch me on the Big Ten Network, the Big Ten Tailgate Show from 10 to 11:30. And then you always can find me on Browns Radio pregame and postgame on Sundays.